Good afternoon, welcome back to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne Ellis. This channel is all about empowering survivors of childhood sexual abuse. This channel could be for people who've been through different types of issues, mental health issues in the aftermath, challenges. This channel really is about empowering the survivor of sexual abuse. I myself am a survivor, one who has overcome successfully many challenges after 32 years since my initial abuse, and I believe it's important to share the journey and the things that I've learned, the insight into my challenges with you, so that you can feel inspired and hopeful as well about your own journey. So today I just wanted to come really and just do a quick video because it's come to my attention really lately, just through the work that I have been doing, supporting survivors, not just in this country but in other countries around the world, that many of you are feeling quite despondent, discouraged and in despair about your current situation. And what I mean by your current situation basically is the situation that you have, you are still dealing with in terms of the aftermath of sexual abuse. And I just really wanted to come and encourage you today, because I know that many of you are feeling really depressed about where you are and feeling hopeless and that things will never get better. But I was once where you are now, and I remember feeling like no one cared, that things would never get better, that, life was just rubbish. And, I was in a lot of pain, a lot of darkness. I can't explain to you how I even got through. Every day was a challenge. Besides feeling like this, I actually was diagnosed with depression, which I suffered and struggled with for over 25 years. And it had a real bad effect on my life. I was a teenage mum, and I was in so many different other situations, and I just felt completely that I just wanted to die. I really felt like I wanted to die, and as a matter of fact I even indulged in the activities to do with that a few times. I want to say to you that's not the way out, and that Jesus loves you. That is what I want you to know today. Jesus loves you. God cares about your pain and cares about, the things that you're going through. And, he wants you to share your burdens, your troubles with him. Just like how you would talk to a friend, Jesus wants you to talk to him like that, to tell him your troubles. If you are, you don't believe in God and you don't believe that he can help you, what I will say to you is to just take hope from my experience. If you have read my book Daughter Arise, if you have read any information about me, you would know that I had been through an horrific experience of sexual abuse, 5 years of my life, and those were in my formative years, and it really had an effect on everything that I did, my whole life, my whole being, my identity, who I thought I was. But God helped me. I became a born again Christian when I was 21, and God helped me on that journey to discovering who I was and to healing. It doesn't mean that a relationship with God is a magic pill. There's always going to be things where you have to make a choice and you have to make tough decisions. And even in those darkest times, there is still hope. There is still hope. Look at my life and where I am now. Besides the grace of God, how else would I have got here? It has been a really, really tough journey, and I've had to make really brutal decisions and choices. But I'm here. I'm here, and I'm now, in my 40s, and I'm living the life that I want to live, a life free from the walls, the constraints of my past. Some of you are in situations where it's better, you feel like it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Yes, your family doesn't support you, your social circle doesn't support you, they know you've been through abuse, you feel like they tolerate you, they don't support you, nor do they care. but you have figured it is better to just live alongside them than to live without them. What I would say and ask you is, what benefit is that bringing to your life? Ultimately, what is needed in your situation, as it was in mine, is to be able to start to come to terms with your experience of sexual abuse. And if those people are not helping you to do that, you know, maybe they're accusing you, calling you a liar, a drama queen, attention seeker, telling you should be over it by now, you know, understand, you know, you're never going to just be over it by now. And they'll never be able to understand that, because even though you grow from a child to an adult, doesn't mean feelings grow from a child to an adult. And if you've not dealt with the abuse that has happened in your childhood, you will automatically always be taken back there until you can be released from it. And if people around you can't even show you empathy, no one's expecting them to understand, because really and truly, unless you've been through sexual abuse yourself, it's hard to explain to somebody the impact it has on you. But if they can't even show you empathy and, you know, and kindness to you, and you know, just trying to just be there, and, you know, just even just to listen, you have to ask yourself the question, you know, are they really going to be of any use to you? Because what you need right now in your life is encouragement. What you need right now in your life is support and love. You've been through a terrible, terrible experience. But I want to tell you that it can and will get better. It can and will get better. But it will involve you making some really tough decisions and, you know, taking tough choices. We always have this kind of, when it comes to the word choices, it always sounds like it's so convenient, so comfortable. We can just, oh, it's a choice, you know, and I'll pick a better choice. But sometimes choices are brutal. You know, to make a choice between certain things is brutal, and it's not comfortable, and it's not nice, and it can't wait. You know, that is the nature, especially when it comes to sexual abuse, that is the nature of how choices are in these circumstances, because ultimately it is about your survival. It is about you being able to be ruthless, as a matter of fact, about your survival and making those tough choices. But I want to encourage you, because things can and will get better. It will, you know, don't give up. You know, don't think suicide is the way out. You know, if I end my life, you know, you are going to get people who don't believe what has happened to you. Unfortunately, that is the nature of the beast when it comes to sexual abuse. A lot of people do not believe these things happen, especially if it's somebody who is reputable, somebody who looks like, sorry, my hand is just seizing up a bit because I'm holding the camera, that they're a pillar of the community. You know, they wouldn't do such things. You know, it's very hard for people to believe that somebody would do that. You know, if people believed it, surely we would be a lot further along in the battle against sexual abuse. But really, we're not really that far along, even though progress has been made. I understand that people probably will call you a liar and call you attention seeker or whatever, but you know the truth. And from when you can be at peace with the truth you know in yourself about what has happened to you, none of that stuff should matter. Even though it hurts, even though rejection and pain hurts, you know, it's not easy. But again, that's a decision and a choice that has to be made. You know, it has to be made. You have to choose now to say, actually, I don't care what anybody thinks of me. You may be my mum, you may be my father, you may be my closest and dearest to me, but I don't care that you think I'm a liar. You know, it's those things that are going to make the difference in you finding hope. Don't look for validation of your experience from anybody. You know, God knows and God sees what has happened to you, same way He has for me. That gave me peace to know that I don't need to be validated by what you believe. It's not about what you believe. It's about what I know is the truth. And what God sees and knows is the truth. That's the only two things that matter to me. And I would encourage you, you know, to believe that for yourself as well. God knows and sees everything that's happened to you. People can protest and make as much noise as they like, saying, oh, you're a liar and whatever. But, you know, don't be concerned with what they think of you. Don't be concerned with what they think of you, because it really doesn't matter. What matters is your survival. What matters is you being able to heal from what has happened to you. Don't ever think suicide is the way out. Don't ever think that, you know, life isn't going to get better. Life can and will get better. And the warped thing about the whole thing, as children, we never had the choice or of what has happened to us. Somebody infringed themselves upon us, on our rights and on our body, on our vulnerability, took our trust that we had in them, and abused us. We didn't have a choice in that. But the thing is, the cruel twist about it is now as adults, even where we've had our dysfunctional behaviours or things that we've gone through. I went through a lot of different things. I had to make the choice: do I want to stay in this, or do I want to be well? Do I want to heal from what's happened to me? It's a brutal choice. It's not a choice that I wanted, but I had to make the choice, to try to start to work to heal some of the damage that was done to me as a child. And it's the same choice that you're going to have to make. As painful, as hard, as difficult as it is. But if you can make those choices, life can and will get better. And you might not be able to make them now, but you can start to think about them now and what it would look like, and start to vision what it would look like to live a life of your choosing, not defined by your past, your relationships, your friendships, your choices, not defined by what happened to you as a child. I would encourage you to think about these things. This journey that you're on to surviving sexual abuse and healing from it is one only you can take. That's the first thing. Second thing is you have to be brutal about wanting to be free from it, and it will involve sharing your experience. It will involve acknowledging what's happened to you. It will involve going and getting some kind of help or support or whatever it is to be able to process, to grieve, to be able to. I don't think you can ever really come to terms with it, but you can be at a place where you think, actually, it's not going to affect my life. I'm not going to allow it to affect my life the way it used to anymore. So I just want to encourage you that life can and will get better. I wish well for you. I'm praying for you. God loves you, and He cares about what has happened to you. And my prayer is that He will reveal Himself to you in the midst of your pain and despair, the same way He did to me. And as I said in my last video, it's been a 32-year journey to get to where I am now. It has not been easy, and it's been extremely difficult. But don't give up. That is my encouragement. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't shortchange yourself and think that you're rubbish, you're not good enough. Don't do it. I know it's hard. It's easier said than done. But please don't give up on yourself. Just try and just deal with today, this hour, this minute. If you deal with the hours and minutes first, then you can deal with the day. And then when you can deal with the day, you can deal with the week. And so it goes on. Sometimes you might only be able to deal with the hour for years, like I did. Getting through each hour, then getting through each day. But the important thing is, if you feel down, don't beat yourself up. Understand it's part of the journey. But the next day, you get back up and continue on. You might fall down 7 times, 70 times 7, as the Bible would say. But the important thing is that you continue to get up in whatever state you are. And that's my encouragement to you today. As somebody who's been where you are and understands how difficult it can be when all you want to do is lie down and not do anything and not face anything and give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. If you are new to the channel, please check out my other videos. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button. Share these videos with anybody you know that's been through sexual abuse. And if you're somebody who's supporting somebody that's been through it, please check out my other videos, because I do talk about topics around it. Maybe it might help you to get an understanding or a better understanding of some of the challenges that your loved one is facing. And check out my website, which is www.daughterarise.org.uk. I have a fantastic blog on there. I write every month about the challenges, insight around the issues to do with sexual abuse. That is on my Hope in the Future blog. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.